January 9th, 2018, and I am doing the Coffee Lover Challenge. So I came across this challenge from like watching videos from this YouTuber called Christina, which my name is Christina, but spelled completely different. So I commented on it and said, oh my gosh, I love this tag, wish I could be on it. She said, tag, you have to do it. So Christina, this is for you and for me, because guys, I love coffee. I love coffee, and I used to work with coffee all the time because one time I just made an mission to I kind of wanted to be a barista. That didn't happen, but I did work with coffee. So I do have a lot of knowledge on coffee. So I'm not only going to be doing the questionnaires, which is like I think 13 some questions or so. I'm also going to be showing you one of my current favorite drinks I like to be making, which is going to be the iced vanilla latte, but with almond milk. And I'll go more into detail with that. So also I kind of want to touch base on caffeine, since I am expecting. Most people kind of think that you're not allowed to drink caffeine while pregnant. So a lot of people just say no coffee. You have to realize there's a lot of caffeine in a lot of things as well. So if you ever drink soda while pregnant, you're drinking caffeine. Unless it's like Sprite or ginger ale. So other than that, you're well, there's a lot of them that are non-caffeinated. Tea does have some caffeine, so I'm going to just touch base on that. I am currently 5 weeks pregnant, so this is kind of that crucial time, the beginning developments. And some people don't know they're actually pregnant at this point, so they're consuming so much caffeine. And from what I know, because I did work with coffee, pregnant women can safely drink up to 250 milligrams of caffeine. That kind of means nothing to you guys because you guys don't really know, so I'm going to touch base with that as well. With caffeine, a regular like 8-ounce cup of coffee roughly is about 180 milligrams, so you can safely drink one of those per day. 12 ounce is exactly around 250. It really depends on the coffee as well, how the dark roasts are going to have a lower amount of caffeine versus your lighter roasts are going to have a higher amount of caffeine. But those are actually just regular drip style kind of coffees. Your espressos are going to have a little different. So per espresso shot, even though they are condensed, they have a significantly less amount of coffee or caffeine than an actual cup of coffee. So one espresso shot, which normally comes to around an ounce or so, comes to about 65 up to 85 milligrams of caffeine. So if you were thinking of cappuccinos or lattes, you could have up to 3 shots, I want to say, depending, you know. And now for tea, some teas are decaf, but then you do have your teas that are higher in caffeine, which I've heard. I'm not a tea expert, but I have talked to a few tea experts during my first pregnancy about it, and they say that like the highest ones, which are like the chais, have up to 15 milligrams of caffeine. Now volume wise, I don't know how much, so that I will not go into. So that's just my disclosure before going into this. Yes, I'm going to be drinking coffee. I don't drink it on a daily basis. I drink it on the days that I have stuff to do. Today I do have things to do, and I probably won't be taking a nap today. So this is my kind of nap substitute. Now that we've gotten past the disclosures, let's go into the questionnaire. So question number 1, do I prefer light, medium, or dark coffee? Medium is going to be a winner. That has a really nice nutty flavor to it. So I love it, super smooth. Coffee beans or ground beans? Probably say I'm probably just gonna buy them ground. It doesn't really make a difference. Coffee beans will oxidize no matter what, whether they're ground or not. I mean, there is a tiny bit of a difference, but they're still gonna be oxidized. Espresso or drip? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I love both, and it really depends month to month because my coffee preference will change. Sometimes I'll be into espressos or Americanos, and sometimes I'll just want a regular drip style coffee, and I'm not going to choose. How do I take my coffee? With creamer and sugar, and sometimes it's just creamers, the flavored creamers. for my espressos, normally with milk or just straight water with a little bit of milk, because, or cream, not milk, cream or milk. Cream, I prefer cream. I think I am slightly allergic to milk. It's not terrible or anything, but I'm just gonna choose not to go with milk. How many cups or mugs do I have per day? I have had like 3 in a day, but that was only because we were out and about. We kept coming across these different coffee shops, and to tell you the truth, I just wanted it. I mean, I have done tea a lot, but on a general basis, just 1 a day, if I even drink a day. I did work with coffee, and it's surprising that I didn't drink coffee on a daily basis, but I did try a lot of the coffees, which is different. Well, not really, but I never felt that I was ever dependent on coffee, which is always a good thing. Lattes or cappuccinos, I prefer the cappuccinos because the foam's amazing, and I'm not a huge fan of hot milk. To me, that just seems like a counter thing. With lattes, because it's just steamed milk, and you give warm milk to kids who want to go to sleep, and then you add an espresso shot. But the foam milk is completely different if done correctly. If done correctly, and you get that nice thick foam, good. You just add a little bit of sugar on top too. Oh, so good. Iced or hot? I mean, as I said earlier, it depends. Sometimes I'm in the mood for iced. Right now I'm in an iced mood. Sometimes I want a nice cup of coffee. Like when I was watching Gilmore Girls, all I wanted was a nice hot cup of coffee to drink while watching Gilmore Girls. Number 9, Starbucks or Dunkin'? Neither. No. I know tons of people are obsessed with Dunkin', and I have done Dunkin', and I just cannot. I can't. I live in southern western area, so I live in California. We have a coffee shop called Coffee Bean for all my southern people, or whatever it's called, people in this area. We have the luxury of having gourmet coffee from Coffee Bean. So if you don't live in California, Arizona, Nevada, Texas, and I want to say Utah, I'm not sure, maybe Oregon and Washington, I'm not 100% sure, you're not going to have this place, but it is the best place for a coffee shop. I have friends who would say otherwise, because there's even smaller companies that they're obsessed with, but for me personally, Coffee Bean is my choice to get a made cup of coffee, like for them to make it for me. So next question is, what is my favorite flavor? I'm not sure which is my favorite flavor. I do tend to go with French vanilla a lot, just because I do like a nutty flavor, but not hazelnut. I was obsessed with hazelnut in high school, and I overdid it, and now I'm not a huge fan. I don't dislike it, but I'm not like a fan. I'm regular or decaf. I'm gonna go with regular, because if I am going to be drinking coffee, it's probably for a good reason. However, as I said when I was watching Gilmore Girls, I did do half caf because I had too many cups of coffee. Also, if I am going to be drinking coffee, it's probably going to be with the regular, because it's not like I'm going to be avoiding the caffeine when drinking decaf, since most places use a chemical way to decaffeinate their coffees, leaving still like 50% of the caffeine. So if you ever drink decaf and still feel a little jittery, that's why, because it's not fully decaf. If there is a system that uses a water system, that is one of the safer and more effective ways to do it. So if I were to do decaf because of needing to avoid caffeine, it would probably be through that. French press or percolator? French press. The percolator takes just too long. Number 13 is fairly offensive to me. It says Keurig or coffee maker. If I had to choose between the two, if I went to a hotel and there was only a Keurig and like a drip style cup of coffee, I would definitely do the drip style cup of coffee. I'm not a huge fan of the coffee selection that Keurig provides. However, my number 1 choice would be an espresso machine, which is going to be bringing the best quality of coffee, gourmet, and yumminess. They have 2 styles, so that's going to be mine. I'm not really offended. I'm just kind of making a joke. Yeah, that's going to be my preferred. However, if it was between the two. So that is the end of the questionnaire. I had lots of fun. I would actually like to have talked a lot more. I I could talk forever on coffee, like just ramble on and on and on. I already have on this video, but I'm gonna go straight into the coffee that I like to make right now, because as I said, I have these kicks, and right now my kick is an iced vanilla latte with almond milk. And I choose almond milk because, as I said earlier, I am slightly allergic to milk. I do get little reactions. It's not horrible, I'm not gonna die or anything. It's just something I choose not to take at certain times. It's not that I don't avoid it. I mean, it's not that I don't use it, I just try and avoid it. So for this, I'm going to be using some almond milk. This is an unsweetened one. You can use sweetened. I'm going to be using a vanilla powder. This is already going to come pre-sweetened, so if your vanilla powder isn't sweetened, which I don't know if any are, you're definitely going to want some sugar, because coffee is great with sugar. I have 2 espresso shots. You can really vary between 2 to 3. I just stick to 2. That's what I find this combination to be the best. Some ice, and the utensil you're going to be using, which is my cup. So what I do, which this is really easy to do, I go to my coffee shop, which is Coffee Bean, to get this done. It's roughly around $5, but here I can do it real fast, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it just in case you want to try it and avoid to pay $5 every day, which I don't actually do this every day, but you know, just for that sake, let's say I do 3 a day, 3 per week, I save myself $15. So I have my 2 shots of espresso. I'm just gonna add that into the bottom. These are still hot, they're not chilled at all. I just brewed them. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the powder with the espresso still hot. I'm gonna take 3 tablespoons of the powder. Yes, 3. You're gonna need a lot, because if you want that flavor to come through, you're gonna need a lot. And if you go to those coffee shops, they're gonna be doing the exact same thing. It's just harder to watch yourself do it, but you're gonna need to do it. So 3 of those. Stir it in while it's hot, because it is a solid, and so with heat it will dissolve faster. And I would recommend, if you have, like this one has the crevices down here, definitely stick your spoon down into those crevices, because otherwise you're gonna have some chunks which are going on, and that's not amazing. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes I'm drinking and I drink this clump, I'm like, what did I just drink? I freak out, and then I realize, oh, it's just the clumps of vanilla powder. Next I add the ice. I use like whole chunk ice. I do not recommend, when you're transferring from hot coffee to ice, when you're trying to do that, I do not recommend doing crushed ice, because that will just melt faster. There definitely is going to be some melting. However, with these thick cubes, you have the outer side which is melting, and you still have like a good chunk, which once the coffee starts cooling, and it starts chilling it. So I do recommend the whole thick amount of ice. And I say fill it all the way to the top. Shake. You want to shake it a bit, because once it starts melting, but you're gonna have more room for ice, and therefore you kind of add more ice. Voila. I have 2 pieces left. I'm just gonna stick them in there. I kind of feel like I don't need them, but they're there. I'm just gonna add them. Give it a shake. Use either the spoon or the straw, maybe, to... Actually, I would stick the straw in, because your ice might start to fuse together. It should already have. Oh goodness. And kind of already stick it in there. Give it a little bit of a shake or a stir, and then add your almond milk, and you're gonna add it all the way to the top. So you're definitely gonna have a larger amount of ratio of milk to espresso, and that's what a latte is this amount of espresso, this amount of milk. If you're the type of person who does like coffee with their milk, lattes are the way to go. I'm just doing this because I love the flavor of the almond milk. I just recently discovered it. I was kind of afraid of it, but I once just ordered it at Coffee Bean, and it was amazing, and I'm obsessed right now. For now, I mean, I'm gonna say forever, because it's never forever. My obsessions, you know, they change. pop a lid on that. You can also give it a little shake. It's kind of hard to stir properly, so you are definitely going to have a little bit of unevenness. I'm not going to say that it's not, but when you start drinking it with the straw at the bottom, you're going to get a lot of coffee, and then definitely with time the ice starts to melt, you're going to get a water substance. So I'm not going to say that it's not perfect. However, I am obsessed with this drink. This is the drink I've been getting at Coffee Bean all the time. This is the drink I've been making these past months, I want to say, and it is delicious. I definitely recommend it. If you do have the proper utensils to make it, it definitely is a lot of money saving, and you can definitely do it a lot more. So it is so good. So that is it for my coffee tag. Might have rambled on a little too much. However, I really enjoyed this. I love talking about coffee. Leave any comments down below if you have any questions about coffee. I'm not an expert on everything, but I do know a lot about it. Also, for my expectant mothers, you are welcome to drink coffee if you need it. I would recommend if you need it only, but do not feel guilty if you feel like you need it and you get it, because you're allowed a cup of coffee. But also talk to your doctors about it. Talk to your doctors about it. But in general, that's what I know. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of my stuff, I will be doing a lot more pregnancy updates. Well, not more. I will have pregnancy updates and a lot more vlogs going on, and hopefully some more stuff like this. So definitely check it out. And you can check me out in my next video. See you then.